What's up, everybody? Welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron, and it's time for New Music Friday. We're going to be taking a look at some of the new releases coming out throughout the week of November 22nd. And as always, if I miss something that you're looking forward to, leave a comment below, letting me and everybody else know what it is so we could all discover some new music. And also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. It does so much to help out with YouTube's algorithm. And of course, if you don't want to miss out on my future videos of reviews or other New Music Fridays, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon. But moving on now, let's talk about some new music. Opeth is releasing their new album titled The Last Will and Testament. This is pretty anticipated because not only is it Opeth, but also the growls are coming back. It's been a long time since we've had our death metal growls within our Opeth albums. So a lot of fans are going to be looking forward to this one. It's probably going to be top tier album material as far as Opeth albums go. Also, probably album of the year material as well. And as a side note, I do plan on doing a review on this album, but I've never really listened to Opeth before. I've heard like 2 songs off of Blackwater Park. I think that's what it's called. And like nothing else other than that. I've listened to the first single for this. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty non-biased review, going into it pretty fresh, not hearing any of their other music. But yeah, give me some Opeth recommendations down in the comments below as a place to start. We also get a new album from Distant titled Tsukuyomi. I believe that's how it's pronounced, or The Orgin. These guys have been bringing the heat, and the singles that they've been releasing for this new album are super heavy. There's some old school kind of nuances in there, some kind of breeze and borderline pig squeals going on. Their last album, Heritage, was pretty good. It was missing something. And so far from the singles, I feel like that something that was missing, that flair, is definitely coming in pretty heavy in this new album. Definitely looking forward to this one. I feel like this is a pretty underrated band. If you don't know who these guys are and you want some kind of technical deathcore stuff, definitely check them out. We get a new EP from I Declare War titled Downcast Volume 2. I always forget about this band until they release something new, and they don't really release new stuff very often at all. The first Downcast EP was absolutely nasty. Personally, I would like it if there was a little bit better mixing on it, which I'm sure there will be because there's a lot of years in between these two EPs. The rawness, though, is kind of part of their charm. I would prefer a full LP from this band just because we don't really get a whole lot of stuff, and it'd be better to get a lot of material from them. But I mean, this will do. It's a little bit of something. Hopefully we get something a little bit longer in the future from them. That would be nice. We also get a new EP from Backslide titled An Ocean Above. This band is fairly newish. They've been around for a minute, but they're fairly unknown, I should say. This is only their second EP. They do not have an album out yet, as far as I know, and they definitely deserve some more attention. They have a very strong Johnny Booth kind of vibe with a little bit more hardcore elements, but also some gentle moments with clean singing in there. It's just, these guys sound so good. They do everything right. And yeah, if you're into Johnny Booth, definitely check these guys out as well. Killswitch Engage releases a new single titled Forever Aligned. A year where we get As I Lay Dying content would not be complete without also getting new Killswitch Engage content. I haven't really honestly been into this band for quite some time. Atonement was okay. Killswitch to me is Howard Jones, and I know he had a feature on Atonement. He sounded great, but it's just, I mean, Jesse's good, but it just doesn't feel like home to me. He doesn't have the distorted vocals I'm used to or the cleans that I'm used to from Howard. And I know he gets compared to a lot of people, and he's kind of considered the underdog, even though he was around before. And yeah, whatever. It just isn't the same to me. It sounds like a completely different band without Howard. So I always have a hard time with the Jesse stuff. But I'll probably check this out. And you know, I have my hopes up, hoping it's going to be really good. I hope it's going to be better than at least the As I Lay Dying stuff. But you know, who knows? Both of those bands they're OGs, and they've been around for a long time kind of doing the same thing. So kind of is what it is. We also get a new single from Bury Tomorrow titled What If I Burn? Their last album was absolutely sick. Just solid, old-fashioned metalcore. Their new vocalist sounds great. Their old one was good too. He was a little bit more polarizing in terms of just his vocal tone, but I don't know. They're just, the new vocalist just kind of fits in a little bit better. He sounds a little bit more mainstream, I guess you could say, not too harsh on the ears. It makes me very excited to hear this, just to hear where they're going next with the new vocalist and all that. They kind of remind me of like older Bleed From Within, or at least like 2019, I think it was, when they released Fracture. That's one of my favorite Bleed From Within albums. And this one, it totally, Bury Tomorrow, they're almost identical, because it kind of sucks. Bleed From Within took a turn that I'm not too much of a fan of. And this band is kind of taking over that spot for me. We also get a new single from Thornhill titled Nerv. This is arguably one of the best metal bands around right now. Dark Pool is probably in like my top 5 favorite albums. I don't normally care for their singles all that much though, so I don't know. I might avoid this until the whole album comes out, just that way I don't have, you know, a decision in my mind on how I already feel about it. But yeah, it's going to be hard to ignore this one just because I love this band so much. Their singles are just a little too, I don't know, a little too radio play for me, which is weird because it's not anything that this band produces. But when you hear it within the full album, it changes everything, and it just doesn't have that kind of quality to it for some reason. We get a new single from Coheed and Cambria titled Searching for Tomorrow. This band has been going in the right direction for me lately, moving away from their more overproduced arena rock sound, and I just hope that it keeps going in that direction. I got really tired of that. I grew up with old school Coheed, and admittedly I wasn't a fan of them back then, but that's the story of this band. You know, you're usually not a fan when you first hear them, but eventually they end up growing on you, and this band did just that. And their older stuff is always perfect to me, and as it gets a little bit more down the road, they kind of lose their originality a little bit, but I feel like they're gaining that back. Their last album wasn't my favorite. it was okay. It's just a little too radio play-ish, and I would just like to hear something a little bit different, even though I don't really expect that from a single. But nonetheless, I'm still pretty excited for this one. We also get a new single from Architects titled Whiplash. It would be cool if this band also made something that had a little bit of originality thrown in there. I don't even want them to go heavy. It's like they created the generic metalcore sound and everybody copied them, to the point to where now Architects, it just sounds like they're copying everybody else, because Architects fell into their own like little rut of just sounding like everything else on the radio nowadays, even though they're the ones that invented it. It's kind of messed up. But yeah, I don't know. And this band is so capable of being really good, and they just do like the bare minimum, it feels like. And that is it for New Music Friday. And like I said before, if there's anything you're looking forward to, leave a comment below letting me know what it is. And also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. If you want to help support me and my channel further, feel free to subscribe and ring the bell icon. Doing any of those things helps me out tremendously, more than you could ever imagine. And I just hope you guys have a good rest of your day or night whenever you happen to be watching this, and I will talk to you guys next time.